Hello there, my Capricorn collective. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Oh my goodness, Capricorn. You're pulling some complicated energy, but it feels like a complicated conversation that you need to have about someone's ex that you're not having or they don't want to have. This isn't about the ex in particular, but some of you, how did they leave their last relationship or partnership, and what's the energy around that? And why is that the energy around that last relationship or partnership? I don't feel like that's the conversation that you're having, but it feels like the conversation that you need to or you should. This is about the love language. This is about like the love language of that relationship or partnership. Look, if they blame their partner for all the failures in their last relationship or partnership and they don't yeah. Take what's yours and leave what the fuck isn't. There's the 5 of Cups. There's the 7 of Swords. There's the Aquarius star. There's the Virgo energy. The Hangman, the 9 of Wands. The Knight of Swords. There with the 4 of Wands. There's the 9 of Cups. Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands. There's the Empress. And there's the Page of Pentacles. Over the Page of Pentacles, there's the Fool vibe. Over the 4 of Wands, there's the Ace of Pentacles. Really, Capricorn? It's the conversation you need to have, but you're not having it. But it would clarify a lot when it comes to you. That Page of with the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, the Empress, Page of Pentacles to the Fool, the Ace of Wands there with that Ace of Pentacles. Some of you be mindful of the family planning of a situation. It's not the ex in particular. It's kind of how do they leave their exes? How do they always leave their exes or their last relationships or partnerships? You should be having this conversation in a healthy relationship or partnership. Why you haven't had this conversation is rather interesting. Ace of Cups, the 5 of Wands. The 10 of Cups to the 3 of Wands. They're at the 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords, 10 of Swords, the 2 of Swords. They're to the Libra vibe. They're to the Temperance Angel. Someone's had way too many complicated endings. But the optimism moving into like the newer relationships or partnerships kind of doesn't fit the vibe on this. So you should have this conversation, but you haven't had the conversation yet. Four of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, the 2 of Swords, Libra with the Temperance Angel. You need to wait till you have this conversation or you're able to have this conversation. It's really given the vibe of someone wants to talk about how miserable all their past relationships or partnerships were, but they really don't go into the dynamics of something. And oddly enough, they're very optimistic moving into another relationship or partnership. So maybe some of you now isn't the time. So, I mean, if you're cross-watching for a Capricorn, this could be your energy. Mindful of the trauma-bonded relationships or partnerships there with that 5 of Cups. This is they want to, I mean, that's the whole point. They blame their partners for all the failures in the relationships or partnerships. But they don't look at how they could have made better choices or better options and why. This person's had a lot of failed relationships or partnerships. But oddly enough, they're very optimistic going into newer options or newer opportunities. And honestly, with that full vibe there, this is kind of look before you leap. And some of you, like, seriously, think about your family planning. Think about your family planning. Four of Cups, the Page of Swords, there with the Wheel of Fortune. Don't get out of one relationship or partnership and go into another one a little too soon. Someone needs to do more healing here. But surprisingly enough, they're very optimistic. So they get out of one relationship or partnership and then they're out there dating again. They're out there dating again. Any of you dating, you're gonna date these people. They're the ones that's out there dating a lot when really they probably shouldn't be. Or now isn't the time. Really just feels like now isn't the time. Because I don't feel like you've had the important conversation yet. You haven't had the important conversations yet. Make sure you choose the option or the opportunity, or that the option or the opportunity doesn't kind of choose you here. So you don't walk into a karmic situation because you were foolishly not paying attention to what you needed to. Work, love, life vibes on this, honestly. Someone is very focused on a Ten of Cups relationship or partnership. It's all about the Ten of Cups. But even with all the failed Ten of Cups relationships or partnerships, they're like a fool in love. Oh my goodness, any of you dating, these are the ones that go on a lot of dates. These will be the ones that are really attracted to your vibe. You're looking good for all the right reasons and all the wrong reasons. I don't know. The drama on this is because you're not having the conversations you need to. It's about love language. It's about the emotional capacity of the relationship or partnership. And oddly enough, how can someone be so optimistic if that last relationship or partnership was so not a happy, optimistic babe? Interesting, Capricorn. Work, love, life on this. Honestly, the Pentacle energy. This could be a work situation with you. The Emperor. You got Temperance Angel. Let's give an HR vibe. So you got the Hierophant. Hierophant, the Emperor. Some of you, how did they get out of those past relationships or partnerships? And if it was really that dramatic of an energy, why the fuck are they so optimistic, ready to get into another one? You haven't touched on the emotional capacity. You haven't touched on it's given like the love language or the friendship vibes or the emotional connection when it comes to the options or the opportunities here, Capricorn. You're given that song, Once Bitten, Twice Shy. So, I don't know. Those of you dating, sweet Jesus, these are, for some of you, the ones that are really optimistic about dating, but yet they'll tell you how horrible their last relationship or partnership was. This is someone that doesn't just date. This would be someone that turns it into a passionate connection, like maybe for some of you a little too early. I feel like abstinence with you, or at least really making smart, sensible, healthy choices, with regard to your options or your opportunities. They want to create a trauma bonded vibe, but at the same time, they're emotionally withholding. Does that make sense? They want to talk about how the emotion they didn't feel loved, wanted, or needed in that last relationship or partnership, but they're raring to get into another one. So I mean, that's kind of the whole point on this. And they would definitely they don't waste no time getting to know you in the biblical sense. Six of Pentacles. There to the Seven of Pentacles. Smart money is wait. You need to be able to have that love language. It's the love language vibe. Or why the relationships or partnerships didn't work. And this would be a person that blames their partners for all the failures in the relationships or partnerships. So some of you be mindful of that. Because that's kind of their low-key way of saying if they don't get what they want or they're not happy, then it's going to be, it's because of you. Ooh, Capricorn. Take what's yours and leave what's not. This would be definitely you dating. You would be dating. You would have to be dating. Dating and not hooking up. That's the difference here. Well, that's the truth. Something interesting with the astrology with Sagittarius, Aries, and Taurus vibes here. So do watch your favorite astrologer. Keep it higher vibrational. And some of you, I mean, really wait to get to know somebody in the biblical sense. There's something here with the trauma bonding of something. So this isn't a person that speaks on their feelings or their emotions, but at the same time, that's the whole point of why their last relationships or partnerships didn't work. So this wouldn't be someone that can talk about their feelings. But yet that's the reason why their relationships or partnerships don't work. So, I mean, it's kind of odd. If they've been heartbroken so many times, but yet they foolishly go into relationships or partnerships. This is a person that probably isn't single for long. It just feels like it's the wrong time. It's just the wrong time. Maybe later it's an option or an opportunity that might be worth your time, energy, or attention, but they can't speak on their feelings. But it's that love language that didn't quite work with all their failed relationships or partnerships. Take your time with something. For someone so heartbroken, they're just out there foolishly falling in love or foolishly getting into relationships or partnerships a little too soon. But they don't discuss their feelings. They don't discuss their feelings. Ooh. Any of you dating, you'll date at least one or two of these. They don't talk about their feelings, but that's why the relationship or partnership doesn't work out. It just feels like simple love language. So everything else could be great, but if they never feel like loved, wanted, or needed, or they don't get that emotional, it's the emotional capacity of something, like honestly. This is more of a hookup vibe. I'm going to be honest with you. Take what's yours, leave what's not. There's the Tower, there's the World, there's the Six of Cups, there's the Moon vibe. Yeah, if they're coming from such a heartbroken space, why are they out there dating so soon? If you're cross-watching for Capricorn, I mean, the vibes on this, right? That last relationship or partnership was so bad. Why are they out there dating so soon? This is a hooking up vibe. This isn't like a dating energy. Make sensible, smart choices. And, I mean, some of you literally wait to get to know somebody in the biblical sense. Because it's not about the emotional connection. Because none of the relationships or partnerships fulfill that emotional connection. Lord have mercy. Some of y'all need to be talking this out, figuring this out, and having these conversations. The Queen of Cups, the Six of Wands, there to the Seven of Wands. This is all about healthy conversations, healthy relationships, healthy partnerships, and I don't know if that relationship or partnership was so negative, they're feeling heartbroken, but yet they're gung-ho to get into another option or another opportunity. Pay attention to that, especially those of you dating. This would be a dating vibe. Friendship, maybe a work energy for some of you, but you're getting that once bitten, twice shy song. So, boy, Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Good luck, God bless. Take what's yours, leave what's not. The emotional capacity isn't there. Now, those of you, maybe stick to seltzer water if you're going on dates. Just so you are making some sensible choices. The vibe doesn't add up, though. If someone is just out of a very bad, they're totally feeling like heartbroken, or they weren't feeling like emotionally validated in that relationship or partnership, but they just go foolishly into new relationships or partnerships. So, yeah, these are the choices you need to make before you actually need to make them with regard to a new relationship or partnership. How long do you expect someone to be single before you even think about getting serious, dating them? This person moves fast, so it's gonna feel like it feels more like a hooking up type of a vibe. But you're not gonna feel emotional. There's no discussion of emotions or feelings. Because that's what is lacking in all the relationships or partnerships. That emotional connection. Oh. To watch your favorite astrologer, there is something here with the Pisces moon energy, or those of you the moon vibes. So, take your time with this. Just like, seriously take your time with this. Because, I mean, something just doesn't make sense. They're out of not a loving relationship or partnership, but they're gung-ho to get into another relationship or partnership. All right, peace, love, and light, Capricorn. Take what's yours, leave what's not. Look, it's healthy, smart choices in every aspect of that. Someone is newly single, but they're out there, they're ready to mingle. And they're really ready to mingle. So, oi. Not the right time, but you need to decide this before you have to decide this. So this is a little bit more of a situational awareness, and those of you that's working through your feelings, your emotions, and simply your love language. This is about the love language, the emotional capacity, or the emotional capacity of your relationship or partnership. Oh. Once you figure that out, you'll make smart, sensible choices, right? All right, peace, love, and light, Capricorn. Good luck, God bless. Take what's yours and leave what's not.